Hi Aquarius, this is your forecast for the month of June 2018. This is a general reading for Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Rising, or Aquarius Moon. For a more rounded overview, please watch your rising and moon sign as well. The underlying energy is this Seven of Wands. You're trying to gain an advantage. But you may be in for a bit of a struggle, especially if you've got your heart set on a particular outcome and you're not willing to give that up. Some of you, maybe there is something secretive going on. You don't even know what it is, but you feel like you have to protect yourself. You're dealing with some kind of challenge or adversary that you need to overcome. Some of you, something is happening very secretive because you are taking this calculated risk to do something very daring, and in some cases may be something devious. But you are trying to, move forward for your gain. So you currently, may have a position of advantage, but that's not quite solidified yet. Maybe you need some assistance. Maybe you're weighing your options about how to gain that advantage. But a situation this month is going to come to a head where you're going to have to assert yourself. And you're going to have to know what the end goal is, what your sense of purpose is. And it's going to be important that you are flexible, that you adapt to circumstances so that you can move forward. Because this is going to be a month where, again, opportunities and challenges that are karmic in nature are going to cross your path. And you're going to have to try really, really hard to make your goal happen. And that doesn't matter whether that goal is very small or it's very large. You're going to find that you're going to have to expend a lot of effort to get things done. Now, people may be asking you to make decisions. They may be asking for your advice. They may be asking what you think about things. So they could be making demands on you and your time and causing you to have to try to manipulate your schedule or your time. And maybe, you're not seeing things clearly with the moon. Maybe you're playing a martyr and you're being victimized by people infringing upon you, your information or your time. So you're going to have to reconsider what your priorities are. But this could be the renewal of something if you let it. Some new beginning where you revitalize. Maybe you heal emotionally, physically, psychologically. And it's going to be important this week, especially with that moon card and the up and downs of that Two of Pentacles. You're going to have to keep a positive mindset. Now, if you're in charge of something, if you're trying to give be a guide and make decisions, and come up with the best decisions, you're going to have to see things clearly. And that means how you can best get people to do what you want them to do. Especially if you see them making mistakes or slacking off or doing the wrong thing. You're going to have to, right the ship by rallying people to your side. And that means motivating and inspiring rather than pushing, dominating, criticizing, judging, because you're going to make a whole lot more happen with the former. Now, you could also feel a little bit depressed or anxious or suspicious or feel it as if somebody is making a judgment against you because you feel like you're really putting in a lot of effort, you're trying very hard, and yet you're not getting that recognition. You keep getting passed over. Nobody's taking notice of you. You do the right things, and yet you're never rewarded. You're always last on the list. And you may end up starting to feel like a victim. But this truly is about perspective, and it's an important month for you to maintain your sense of proportion about something and not let your emotions take over. And because as in the process, you may end up taking your frustrations out on other people and you don't even realize it. Maybe you even decide, you're using that Queen of Swords and you're cutting out your emotions. So, this is about, again, trying to have that positive mindset. Now, this is going to be a month of, that centers around your ambitions and some changes to that. And it's important that you use the moon and you're vigilant in whatever you're doing. Remember, the Seven of Wands says you're going to have to work extra hard to accomplish something. So make sure that you don't use the moon negatively and avoid or try to escape or get bogged down in your emotions. This is about trying to gain an advantage through renewal of some sort. And you're looking at your connections to other people, your relationships, what you're investing in them, and what is the return on that? As well as, again, weighing your options. How attached are you to this proposition, this idea, this outcome, this person? You only have one major card, the Moon card. So you're dealing with emotions, your psyche, perhaps your creativity, but also being careful of being duped, whether that's by another person or by yourself. There's not a lot of, in spite of that moon, there's something that's very insensitive about your situation, something very cold. So perhaps, again, that Six of Pentacles says that you need to restore balance. You need to open yourself up to feelings. You need to take that Queen of Swords, and in spite of the hardship, you need to make some better decisions about your connections. Now, for some of you, there's a desire perhaps to travel, and yet you feel some guilt maybe about that. You don't want to leave your loved ones behind. Maybe you were thinking of even traveling far away over water, abroad. For some of you, there's a fascination with ships, with boats, with the sea, and maybe you're going on or thinking of going on a cruise, or maybe you're thinking of buying a boat. Some of you, this is about the emotions. You want to be understood. You want that recognition. You want to be loved, and yet you feel isolated, cut off, like you're not getting the emotional support that you want. Now, it could be that, somebody's trying to cope with a situation while other parties are at odds, bickering with each other. This is a month where you're going to have to be adaptable, flexible to circumstances, because again, the moon says that your situation is in flux. So you may be involved in a long shot proposition where actually you end up surprising yourself by adapting to a situation, ultimately because you have no choice but to do that. All right, Aquarius, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to subscribe. I'd love for you to join me on Instagram or come over to my blog for the daily post. And of course, you can always book a personal reading at thealchemistastrologer.com.